Welcome everyone to this video. Today I want to do a review of the DuckDuckGo subscription, and immediately I want to say this is not a sponsored video. There's no affiliation whatsoever with DuckDuckGo. I just want to do a review of this service for people out there wondering what it is and why would you ever sign up for this and whether or not I recommend it or not. Now I'm not going to dive too much into the pricing, just know that there is a page that lists the options as well as the services you do receive. And I'm here in the DuckDuckGo browser, and if I go to settings, down the left-hand column, we can see a section for subscription. This is where you're going to manage all of the features you get with the DuckDuckGo subscription. Now, you don't necessarily have to use these features here per se, but you do have to manage them in the DuckDuckGo browser. And so if you're someone who does not like this browser right away, that could be a deal breaker for you. I will say for myself, as time has gone on, the DuckDuckGo browser has grown on me. It's not perfect, and I do understand that people who are coming from, say, Vivaldi or some other browser they can customize, this is a tough pill to swallow just because of how simplistic this browser is. But on the other hand, simplistic can be exactly what people are looking for. And I will also point out that the mobile app really has grown on me, and I've even noticed that Firefox and Brave to some degree have copied the little fire history clearing feature that is built into DuckDuckGo. They have their own versions. Not everything's perfect. I have noticed some performance issues with the Windows client here and there, but overall, I do think the browser is pretty good. Now, diving into the first feature you get with the subscription, the VPN, which I have selected right here, and these are the settings. Now, right off the bat, do I recommend this VPN or not? The short answer is no. And I do want to be fair, and so I'm going to talk about the good first and what's good about this VPN, but then also illustrate why I would not recommend this VPN. I was surprised to find out that the speeds while using this VPN were actually surprisingly very good. That does not automatically mean that if you use this VPN, you're going to have the exact same results I did. I can only speak for myself. There's a lot of factors that go into internet speed, but at least for me, when I was using this VPN, the speeds actually were a little bit higher than the previous VPN I was using. Another thing about the VPN, which I'm going to point out, but just real quick, I also want to illustrate one thing that is missing from the DuckDuckGo browser is there's no reader view like what you have in, say, Firefox or a Brave web browser, so we're stuck in this format. But regardless, the point of being on this page is DuckDuckGo did undergo an independent audit by this security firm right here, and they found that they do not log their users, which is also good. So why then would I not recommend this VPN? Well, there's a few reasons. First off, from my understanding, the product is not fully open source. It's at least partially open source. It sounds like with the server-side infrastructure, there is not as much transparency. Someone can correct me if I'm getting this wrong, but again, it appears from my research that it's only partially open source, and there are some missing features. One specifically that is a deal breaker for me is this VPN has no kill switch, and that to me is something that is absolutely necessary to have in a VPN to prevent leaks, and that is one of the biggest reasons why I cannot recommend it. There's also going to be concerns about its jurisdiction, and if you're already using DuckDuckGo search, the DuckDuckGo browser, and on top of it you're using the VPNs, some people will make the argument that you're putting too many eggs in one basket, and I think there is a legitimate argument to be made there. If you're looking for a VPN, I would just go with a proven gold standard such as iVPN, Movad, Proton, or even Windscribe. Those are the four that I recommend. iVPN at the top. If you didn't have a VPN and for some reason you were absolutely going to get this service, I will say using this VPN from DuckDuckGo is better than nothing, but again, I would not recommend it overall. The next feature you get with this subscription is personal information removal, and this one is kind of a mixed bag. On the one hand, data collection in this country is out of control. It's like a virus just spreading everywhere. Almost every tech company out there just seems to be gathering as much data as possible so they can sell it off and make money, and the government is basically circumventing warrants by buying that data. Warrants just don't seem to matter anymore. It's just an all-out wild, wild west where there is government surveillance and company surveillance that's just out of control, and privacy just doesn't seem to exist. But at least one thing you can do to some degree is use a service like this. I will also quickly note that the better option is to vote for people at the federal and state level that will actually pass legislation to protect you from data collection, but that's a separate topic. But there have been studies done that show that these services are not super effective, and I'm going to list these down in the notes, down in the video description. There's a couple that have been done, but it can be difficult to recommend a service like this because in those studies they showed that depending on which one you use, you may only get 50% results removed, and it's difficult because people don't have time or don't want to take the time to block off every weekend to go through and remove data. You can go remove something and months later it can show up back on that website again. These services are supposed to continuously scan and continuously submit for their removal to keep it suppressed, but sometimes those submissions do not fully go through. I will say with DuckDuckGo, there have been multiple cases where it was successful for me personally, and there's some that have just been sitting there. Now, DuckDuckGo will list those and point you in the right direction to go request for it to be removed manually, so it does help out in that regard. Also, DuckDuckGo does not review the most sites. Other services out there will claim to scan hundreds of websites, but DuckDuckGo does appear to target the most common ones. Just know that with any of these services, you're not going to get 100% success, and that's something that really sucks on the one hand, but using these can at least help. I do want to note that easy opt-outs is one-sided in those studies, and it tends to do a better job than most other services, and it's also extremely cheap. It's only $20 a year, and so that's another reason why it's kind of difficult for me to say, hey, this is a reason to get the subscription. But if you're getting it for something else, then this may just be an added perk. Identity theft restoration. Now, this was the most difficult part to review because I don't have a claim to make, but from my understanding of this service is, if I actually click on it here and then scroll down, basically there's two main things here. Is they'll get you in contact with an advisor if you do have some sort of identity theft situation, and then if I click on the learn more here on the left and then scroll down, you'll notice that some of these services cite a company called Iris, which can do everything from reimbursements to corrections, alerts. I did do some research on this company. They appear to be a white label company. I've not interacted with them directly, so this is a difficult one to give an opinion on. I don't know if I had an identity theft situation, would I go through this service? Maybe. I don't think this is the reason to sign up for DuckDuckGo's subscription, but just know that it is available. If a situation like this does come up, you could utilize this service. The last thing is Duck AI. Now, there's a lot of people who are very sensitive about AI, and it's something they want nothing to do with. In fact, if I go down here to AI features, you can completely disable AI features in the DuckDuckGo web browser. You can also turn it off in the search results. It will also filter out AI generated images if you want those filtered out from searches. And so you don't have to touch AI in DuckDuckGo if you don't want to, but if you are getting the subscription, this is probably the strongest feature that you get with the subscription, in my opinion. And the reason for that is if you're someone who does use a ChatGPT or a Claude or something else, and you're just paying them directly and logging into their service directly, you are losing a lot of privacy. DuckDuckGo acts as an in-between to hide your IP address and other information. And so when you log in, you can select whatever model you want to use. And there are some that you can use for free. And so if you're using the subscription, what you're getting is access to the more advanced models. And then like it says here, depending on which one you go with, you can get higher reasoning and more usage limits. Additionally, you'll have voice chat and image generation. And so if you are someone who uses, say, a Claude or a ChatGPT, and you've been using it by logging into their service directly, this is a better way to go as far as privacy. It's not going to give you access to, say, something like Claude Cowork. So you are going to lose that if that's something that you use, but that's going to have to be a personal choice for you. What is most important, functionality or privacy? I do want to just quickly point out something that is not included in the subscription that's just part of the web browser. This email protection feature goes largely overlooked. It is a competitor to, say, a MySudo or Simple Login. It is for email aliasing, and email aliasing is one of the biggest things you can do to increase privacy and security, especially when there's a data breach. I have used this, and I gotta say, so far it's been good. Just make sure to keep track of the email addresses you generate through this, because it will not track of them for you. So if you lose them and forget what email alias you set up for an account, you're gonna have a hard time getting back in. But regardless, I do think this is another good reason to get involved with DuckDuckGo's ecosystem. I do want to point out another reason why I want to do this review is because I'm planning to also give Kagi a try. I know it's not a complete apples to apples comparison between the two, but there is overlap. People I know who have used Kagi swear by it, and so I want to give it a first-hand try and come back with a review and a comparison between the two. And I'm hoping this review of the DuckDuckGo subscription is helpful. Again, to summarize, I personally would not use the VPN. The data removal is a nice to have, but may not be fully successful. The identity theft service, hopefully you never need to use it, but if it comes up, it's there. And I think the primary reason to use the DuckDuckGo subscription is if you use AI and want access to more advanced models and higher limits and want to increase your privacy, this is a good option to do that. That is everything for this video, but if you do have any comments or questions, please post them down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider sharing it. And if you would like to support the channel, go ahead and hit that join button to become a member for as low as 99 cents a month, the thanks button, the subscribe button, or that bell notification icon to get notifications on future videos. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great day.